Hi everyone, my name is Julia and I'm a physical therapist at Breakthrough. Today I'm here with an upper body superset strength workout that's geared towards swimmers and other overhead athletes. So the exercises in this workout are really going to target our overhead strength and kind of control in an overhead range. And so this is really important for swimmers who spend a lot of time pulling their arms through the water in an overhead range, as well as throwers, hitters, anyone who spends time with their arm over their head. So you're going to need some weights for this exercise. We're going to go in a superset style, so going one muscle group, then the opposite muscle group. So we're going to go through pretty quick transitions here, not a whole ton of rest. Keep your heart rate up a little bit and really get you a good workout in just under 40 minutes here, okay? So grab your weights. We're going to start off with a warm-up. So we're starting off with a warm-up here just to get our body ready to go. Starting off with shoulder rolls. So you can roll back, roll forward. Start to shift your feet a little bit, get a little bit more motion in there. So for this workout, you're going to need some weights, maybe a chair or bench for one exercise, or you can just do it leaning kind of like on a stool or even on the ground. The next exercise in this warm-up is going to be a forward and back reach. So reach back. Open your chest, reach forward, round out your back a little bit. Really go through your full range of motion here. Just getting all those muscles warmed up. So you really want to move your shoulder blades as much as possible here. Away from each other and then towards each other. Kind of waking up those scapular muscles. So we're shifting into arm circles. So big arm circle back, big arm circle forward. You start doing a butt kicker or a high march. Something to get those legs a little active. We're trying to raise our heart rate here and get our arms ready for all these upper body movements, upper body strength exercises we're about to do. The next one's going to be a walk down to plank. So walk it down, strong plank position, and then come back up all the way to vertical. Get that core woken up here, wall up those arms. The next one is going to be a standing Y. So get into that standing position, arms overhead in a Y, and you're just going to shift one arm back after the other. The goal is to tilt your shoulder blade off your back here. So we're already starting to work on that overhead control. You don't want to fling your arm back, it's just a small tilt of your shoulder blade. The next one is going to be bent over W's. Again, working on that scapular control. Hinge of the hips. And then pull your elbows towards your sides. To make a W with your arm, you're trying to pull your shoulder blades down and together. So slide them down your back, waking up those scapular stabilizers here. Those are really important for overhead stability. And our last two exercises are going to be to get your heart rate up a little bit, starting with fly jacks. So fly jack here, if you need to keep it low impact, just do a step. Otherwise you can do the full version. So we're trying to get our heart rate up here with these last couple warm-up exercises. You can start out slow and speed it up as you can. Our last one's going to be an up and out jack. So out, up, out, up. Again, if you need to do it low impact, you can do a stepping version. Just trying to get those muscles warmed up, get that heart rate up, break a little bit of a sweat. All right, bring it down. So we're going to get into our superset strength here. Go ahead and grab your weights and we'll get started. Okay, so for our upper body superset strength workout here, the main portion, we're going to do 6 groups of 2 exercises. We're doing a superset, so we're going to go in an A-B-A-B pattern, 40 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 2 times through each group. So we're going to start off here with a chest press, lying on the ground or on a bench if you have it, and a unilateral row. So if you have a bench that you can kind of put your knee and your hand on for that row, go ahead and grab that. You can use a chair, you can use a couch, bed, just something to kind of kneel on there. If you don't have a bench, you can kind of put one hand on the counter and then step back like this and do a row that way, okay? So let's get my timer and we're going to start it up. Starting off with that chest press, grab your weights and lay on the ground. And so you're just going to lower slowly and then push your arms over your shoulders. This is just getting those chest muscles. So inhale to lower, exhale to lift. You want to exhale during the hardest part of the motion. So since I'm laying on the floor, I'm in a pretty stable position. If you want a little bit more core work, you can raise your feet off the ground. Just makes your core work a little harder, but you're trying to keep your forearms vertical here. All right, give that a break. So we're switching to our unilateral row. So get your knee and your hand on that bench, square up your shoulders, and start it up. We're doing 1 round on this side, and then 1 interval on the other side. So keep your shoulders level. You don't want your shoulders to slump, and you don't want to rotate your trunk to lift the weight. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower the weight back down. Keep that core active. And these are quick transition times, so don't feel bad if you miss a few seconds. That's okay. If you need to pause for more rest at any time, feel free to pause the video. Okay, we're going to switch to the other side. I'm going to move my bench here. So get in your nice straight back position here. Start it up on the other side. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift that weight up. Keeping those shoulders level. Try and go the same speed lifting as you do lowering. Keep it nice and under control. Squeeze that shoulder blade together. Squeeze those shoulder blades together on your back. Really targeting those back and scapular muscles. All right, we're going to come back down to the ground for that chest press. Start it up. And you can lift your feet off the ground here like this for extra core workout, or you can just kind of lift 1 foot at a time for a little extra core workout, or you can just leave them on the ground. It's up to you. Challenge yourself, but don't make it impossible for yourself. Keep it going here. All right, break. We're going to go back to the unilateral row. So get your weight here. Start it up. So keep those shoulders level. Working on your rhomboids, middle traps, a little bit of your lats, posterior deltoid here with this exercise. Targeting those back and scapular muscles. These are really important for pulling yourself through the water if you're a swimmer, or getting power for that throw. All right, very nice. So go ahead and switch sides here. It's going to be our last interval of this group. And start it up. Shoulders level. So these back and scapular muscles are really important for your overhead control, because if you can't stabilize your shoulder blade, you're going to have a hard time stabilizing your shoulder as you move your arm around. Especially in those overhead positions, we have to have a lot of scapular stability. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. All right, very good. Our next set is going to be chest flies and reverse flies. So again, we're going to target those chest and those back muscles, but in a straight arm position here. Okay, so grab your weights. Starting off with the chest fly. Arms almost all the way straight. Slowly lower to the ground and lift back up. And again, with this one, you can keep your feet flat on the ground, or for more of a core challenge, you can lift them off the ground. So inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. Have your palms facing each other. These straight arm exercises are going to be really challenging. Your shoulders in kind of a vulnerable position here, so make sure you're not lifting heavier than you can control. The next one is the reverse fly, so I'm going to go much lighter on this one. You see about 7 pounds here. So you're going to hinge over at the hips, have a straight back, and then slowly lift up to shoulder height, palms facing down. Again, really targeting those back and scapular muscles. And you want to be able to control it, not swing the weights up throughout the range of motion. So control up, control down. You want to keep a flat back or a neutral arch in that back as you hinge over here. This weight might be a little bit heavy for me. I can't get full range of motion, so I think I'm going to drop for the next set, which is always totally fine. You can change your weight mid-set or between sets. Okay, going back to those chest flies. So grab your weight for that. And start it up. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Make sure you have full control over the range of motion here. If you feel yourself losing control or your shoulder starts to hurt, drop the weight, decrease the weight, or decrease your range of motion. Steady breathing. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. All right, going back to that reverse fly. I'm going to use a little less weight this time since I wasn't getting through my full range of motion. So we'll drop down just to 5 pounds each hand here. You don't need a lot because your arm is straight. And start it up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Nice steady breathing here. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. You don't want to be shrugging your shoulders up throughout this range here. Work on those scapular muscles. Nice steady breathing. All right, and that's it. Done with that interval, so take a quick water break, keep your feet moving. We'll come right back for the next two groups. Okay, so now we're going to start working into those overhead ranges. And so our next group here is going to be overhead press and a lat pullover. So these are really going to be helpful for those overhead athletes who have to have strength in an overhead range. So grab your weights here, we'll get it started. Starting with the overhead press. And start it up. So you want to push those weights directly over your shoulders. Exhale as you lift up. Inhale as you lower down. Keep good control over the dumbbells. Try not to bang them together at the top. Keep your core activated here. Steady breathing. All right, the next one's going to be down on the ground for those lat pullovers. So I'm going to switch my weight here. Starting with your hands above your shoulders, palms facing towards your feet. Slowly lower to the ground as you inhale. Raise them back over your shoulders as you exhale. So again, with this straight arm, this is a vulnerable position for your shoulder. So start light if you haven't done this exercise before. Make sure you have good control over the full motion. If you don't, drop the weight or decrease your range of motion. You want to work through your available range of motion, so try and pick a weight where you can go all the way overhead here. And again, you can lift your arms off the ground or lift your feet off the ground for more of a core challenge. Okay, so we're going to go back to that overhead press. Goes down. And start it up. For a little balance challenge, you can stand on one foot with overhead press. This is kind of hard to do if you're lifting really heavy weight, but if you're not maxed out on weight, you can increase your core activation by standing on one foot, or you can just stay firmly planted on both feet. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. All right, very good. So going back to that lat pullover. We got one more set of these in this round. Start it up. And hopefully you can see, if you're a swimmer, this is really reminiscent of that freestyle catch and pull, pushing the water back here. If you're a thrower, you really have to whip that arm overhead, or if you're a hitter, or if you use a racket, you got to use these lat muscles to get power in an overhead strike. So again, you can lift your feet off the ground if you want to for more of a core challenge. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. All right, very nice. Our next group of two exercises is going to be ventrolateral raises all the way overhead, out to the side and the front, and then side lat pullovers. So grab the right weight for those overhead ventrolateral raises. We're going to go thumbs facing up, all the way overhead to the side, then all the way overhead forward. So we want thumbs facing up because that just opens up the shoulder joint a little bit. Since we are strengthening all the way overhead here, you don't really want to go palms down or palms back, because then it's going to close down your shoulder joint, increase your risk of injury in that closed up shoulder space. Especially if you're having some shoulder impingement, you want to try and keep that space in your shoulder as open as possible. Okay, go ahead and give that a break. Grab one weight. We're going to do one interval of side lat pullovers on one side, and then we'll switch sides. So lay on your side here, arms straight overhead, and slowly let the weight lower over your head and pull it back. So we're just working those lats in a little bit different direction this way. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Keep really good control over this whole motion. And again, don't let your shoulders shrug up. Keep it down, away from your ears. Steady breathing. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. All right, go ahead and switch sides here. So again, especially if this is a new exercise, you want to use a weight that you can control. Don't go too heavy to start. So set it up and start it up. Control the weight lowering as far as you can overhead without that shoulder blade shrugging up by your ear. Nice steady breathing here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. All right, then we're going back to that overhead ventral lateral raise. So grab your weights here. And again, you can stand on one foot if you want to for an extra balance challenge with this one. Slowly raise overhead. Because your arms are straight and the weights are going to move quite a bit, this is really going to challenge your balance and activate your core. You can switch sides every couple. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Working on that overhead strength here. Steady breathing. All right, and then back to that side lat pullover. So get set up on your side here. Starting with your hand right over your shoulder, and start it up. Inhale to lower over your head, exhale to bring that weight back over your shoulder. So especially if you're a swimmer, you really need strong lats for all those strokes, especially engaging on that catch. So these pullovers are really great for strengthening all those muscles needed for pulling yourself through the water when you're swimming. Keep it going, nice and steady. All right, go ahead and switch sides here. Just have one more set of these, and then we're done with this group of exercises. Time goes fast when you're having fun, right? Start it up. We just have this one interval left, then we got another quick water break. Really work on that scapular control. I can feel my shoulder blade wanting to pop up by my ears. Your shoulders and ears are not friends. Don't let them hang out. Inhale overhead. Exhale to bring the weight back over your shoulder. Really strengthening this overhead range here. All right, so you earned yourself another quick water break. So grab a quick sip, keep your feet moving, don't sit down completely, and we'll come right back for our last two groups. Okay, so this next set is going to be bicep curls and tricep kickbacks. So get started here. Grab your weight for the bicep curls. And start it up. You want to keep your upper arm vertical. So keep it all the way vertical. Don't let your elbow kick forward because that's going to use the shoulder instead of your bicep. So as much as you can, keep that upper arm vertical. Again, here you can do that stand on one foot if you're not maxed out on the weight that you're lifting. Just get a little more core activation, a little bit of a balance challenge here. But if you're maxed out on the amount of weight you can lift, just plant both your feet on the ground. Good. Next one's going to be tricep kickbacks. So grab your weight here. Then we'll do the same as we did with that reverse fly hinge at the hips. Let's start it up. Again, you want your elbow at the same level as your side and your upper arm to be totally stationary. Just extending your hands behind you. You can have your palms facing each other, or if you have enough space with the dumbbell, you can do palm facing back. This is kind of like the final portion of that arm stroke if you're a swimmer, or just trying to whip the ball forward if you're a thrower. So you can experiment. You can go palms facing each other, palms facing back. Just target the triceps in a slightly different way. All right. And back to those bicep curls. Grab your weights. Start it up. I'm going to do the single leg balance here, but you don't have to. It kind of depends on how much weight you're lifting and if you can keep good form. So make sure your upper arms stay stationary by your sides. Don't let your elbows kick forward. If you need to take a little extra break between reps, like I'm doing here, that's fine. All right, and then back to those tricep kickbacks. I was struggling a little bit on that last round towards the end, but I think I'm going to try and do this weight here. So, neutral arch in the back, elbows by your sides, and kick it back. So you can do palms up or palms facing each other. Inhale to straighten your arms, exhale to bend your elbows. Okay, this weight, my form's getting sloppy, so I'm going to switch. So if you feel yourself swinging those weights up, you can drop your weight. Or if you're not getting your elbow all the way straight, it might be a good idea to drop the weight. All right, that is the end of that group. So our last group here is going to be hammer curls and an overhead tricep extension. We're doing the overhead tricep extension just one arm at a time. All right, here we go. Grab your weights for the hammer curls. So this one, palms facing each other. Same thing, elbows stay by your sides. Curl the weight up towards your shoulder without kicking your elbow forward. Exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Nice steady breathing here. My biceps are definitely feeling it. This is our second group. Working those biceps and triceps. This is your last group of the strength portion of this workout. So you're almost there. Just got a few more sets here. All right, put those down. I'm going to do tricep extension one arm at a time. So just one weight here. Start with it overhead. And then slowly lower, keeping your upper arm totally still here. You don't want it to come forward in front of your face. And here again, you can keep your palm in a neutral position or have it facing up. So it's similar to throwing or hitting something overhead, or kind of starting your catch in the water in front of you if you're a swimmer. So keep your elbow kind of behind your face. Don't let it come forward here, because then you're doing more shoulder press. Core activated. Keep your back straight. Don't let it arch too much. All right, go ahead and switch arms here. So we're really working those overhead ranges. If you're throwing, you're probably going to have your palm up. If you're hitting, you might have it to the side, so you can alternate back and forth between palm facing forward and palm facing in. Start it up. So try and keep that upper arm nice and still. And you can do kind of a neutral grip here, palm facing in, or you can face your palm forward. Just slightly different angles of working that tricep. So you choose what's right for you in your sport. And it's also nice to just work the muscle in a variety of different directions here. So I like to do a mix. Steady breathing. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. All right, we're going to go back to those hammer curls. So really burn out those biceps. Shake those arms out in these transitions here. Get your shoulders set and start it up. I'm going to do the balancing option. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Hope your arms are feeling a little bit like jelly right now. Mine definitely are. I'm kind of struggling here with this weight, but I'm going to try and stick it out. You only want to lift as much weight as you control. Try not to use momentum to swing the weights up. All right, very nice. So we're doing our last set here. We got one more set on each side of those overhead tricep extensions. So I'm going to alternate back and forth between a neutral palm and my palm facing up. So try and keep that upper arm stable. Keep your shoulder away from your ear here. Core activated so you're not arching into that back too much. Inhale, lower. Exhale to lift. Nice steady breathing here. All right, very nice. One more set on the other arm, and then that is it for this strength portion. So prepare here, shoulder away from your ear. Stabilize that weight overhead and start it up. I'm doing one with my palm facing in, one with my palm facing up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep that upper arm stable. Keep the breathing nice and steady. Shoulder away from your ear. Core activated. Keep it going. Control the movement. You're almost there. All right. The double beep means you're done with that group and we're actually done with the strength portion. So kind of swing your arms out here, grab a quick sip of water, but then make sure you come right back for our cool down. It's really important. We want to get all those muscles kind of relaxed before we go on with the rest of our day. Okay? Okay, so we're back for the cool down. We're gonna go 20 seconds of each interval here, starting off with some arm swings. You can start up here. So you just want to really work some of that soreness out of those arms, cool down. That was a pretty tough workout. So we're just going to do some arm swings here. Bring your heart rate down a little bit. Our first stretch is going to be an arm cross stretch. So bring that arm across. You should feel it in your shoulder here and kind of the back of your arm. Get those deltoids and triceps. A little bit of that rotator cuff. Nice steady breathing with these stretches here. Go ahead and switch sides. You should feel across the back of that shoulder. Again, you don't want your shoulder to be shrugged up by your face. Keep it down away from your ear. Next one, you're going to find a wall. We're going to do a chest stretch. So put your hand flat on the wall and then just kind of turn away from it here. And you can play with the angle. You can walk your hand farther up. You can walk your hand farther down. You should feel a nice stretch across your chest and the front of your shoulder and into those biceps. Go ahead and switch sides. Put that hand flat on the wall. Turn away. Nice steady breathing with these stretches here. All right, the next one is going to be an overhead wall lat stretch. So core engaged, so you're not arching your back. Sink your chest towards the wall. And breathe. Get those lats nice and relaxed. Next, we're doing an overhead tricep stretch. So grab your elbow, pull it over your head. You can lean to the side to get an extra side stretch here. Go ahead and switch sides. Bring the other elbow over your head. Stretch out that tricep, a little bit of that lat as well. You can lean to the side, get a little more side stretch. Our next stretches are going to be down on the ground. We're going to do a thread the needle. So reach one hand out and then under. And stretch across the back of those shoulders. Really trying to stretch out those rhomboids and those traps. Sink into the stretch here. Go ahead and switch sides, so reach out and then thread the needle under. You're trying to get the back of your shoulder and the back of your head on the ground. Should feel a nice release across the back of your shoulder. And to finish, we're just going to go into a child's pose. So sink your forehead to the ground, arms overhead. Relax your chest towards the ground. All right, and that is it. So, great job with that workout. You just completed an upper body superset strength workout for swimmers and overhead athletes. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.